Alright everybody, welcome to Reddit Rejects. It's the show where we take a look at some of the things that have been posted on Reddit for Star Citizen this week. The post that we're focusing in on this week, this Reddit user claims Pirates of the Caribbean has the answer to the difference between a pirate and a griefer. Okay, immediately I reject this premise. Yes, griefing happens in Star Citizen. Yes, pirating is a thing you can do in Star Citizen, but it is not a one or the other scenario. There is a whole spectrum of, I don't know what you would call it, actions you can take when you're role-playing the criminal in Star Citizen that doesn't make you either a pirate or a griefer. So let's get into this little essay here. This guy says they must follow the pirate code, and the pirate code says they must follow the rule of parley. The rule of parley, any person can request to be brought before the captain to negotiate without being attacked until the parley is complete. As long as the attackers follow parley, they are pirates. If they do not, they are scum. It should be added to the KOS list. Blah, 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 blah. Again, I reject this for a couple reasons, one of which being,
you must be a pirate for the pirate's code to apply, and you're not.
And the other being,
the code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
But even if we accept the premise that a pirate must allow for negotiations, which I think is not necessarily true, but let's go with it. Let's say pirating in Star Citizen must allow for negotiation in the sense that if I'm going to pirate you, I have to first say, hey, if you pay me or give me your cargo, I will not kill you. Okay, I'm down with that. That sounds like fun. So let's say that's what you have to do to be a pirate. So then what is this scenario then? What is, I see that you have something I want. Let's say you have a cool set of armor and I want that armor, and I say, I'm killing you now, and I kill you, and I take your armor. It's not pirating, but it's also not griefing. A lot of people misunderstand what griefing is because I think they're just not really versed in multiplayer gameplay as a whole. In order for something to qualify as griefing, the griefer must not gain anything from the griefing. It's a word traditionally used in like battle royales, right? Say you have 3 teams and there's a hill. The guy at the top of the hill has the best position. 2 guys at the bottom of the hill are in a worse position. What would be in the best interest of those 2 guys at the bottom of the hill would be to both focus on killing the guy at the top of the hill, and then they could deal with killing each other to see who wins, right? What would not be in the best interest of the guys at the bottom of the hill would be for one guy at the bottom of the hill to rush the other guy at the bottom of the hill, because no matter who kills each other at the bottom of the hill, the guy at the top of the hill will come down and third party that fight. When the victor of the 2 guys at the bottom of the hill is weak and healing, the guy at the top of the hill not only has now the advantage of being on high ground, but also has the health advantage and the situational advantage of third partying. So what we would call that in a battle royale instance is that the guy at the bottom of the hill who attacked the other guy at the bottom of the hill griefed the other guy at the bottom of the hill, because now neither of them can win. Neither of them gain anything from that situation. The guy at the bottom of the hill is basically giving the win away to the guy at the top of the hill. That's griefing. When you don't gain anything from hurting another player, that is what griefing is. Now, I don't have a problem with griefing in Star Citizen. Sure, it can be annoying, but at the end of the day, the Stanton system is meant to be a loose replication of a real life scenario. It is meant to be a system where crime is prevalent. Sometimes crime is robbing someone at gunpoint. At least in that instance, it's not griefing, it's just robbing someone, right? Even if you kill the victim, you're still gaining that person's belongings. So it's not griefing. I mean, it's robbing at that point. You're pillaging, you're being a Viking. But there are crazy people who are murderers, right? You have people who just want to kill people for fun. And that is a part of life. And it's also part of Star Citizen. Griefing, in other words, killing someone that gains you nothing except the feeling of killing someone, is perfectly acceptable because it fits in to the societal simulation that Star Citizen is. Notice I didn't say simulation, I said societal simulation. Okay, so pirating, as this guy wants to put it, allows for negotiation. I'm fine with going with that if we really want to, but griefing is also an acceptable way to play the game. Whether you like it or not, the game is a sandbox. It's in the game, and therefore, if you sign up for the game, you're signing up for whatever anyone wants to do at any moment. You're signing up for pirating, you're signing up for griefing, okay? But not everything is pirating or griefing. Remember, as long as the perpetrator gains something from killing you, it's not griefing. It's just robbery. So between pirate and between griefing, there are other things. Being a murderous thief, being a Viking who just wants to pillage and loot, being a mercenary. And then there's griefing, which is just being a psycho murderer. All of these things are acceptable ways to play the game, because what it does is it makes it interesting for the rest of us. Someone has to play the role of the griefer. Someone has to play the role of the miner. Someone has to play the role of the pirate, and someone has to be the murderous thief. So I reject this Reddit post, but I do credit the Redditor for his creativity and for referencing Pirates of the Caribbean, which is an excellent movie. All right, that's it for this week's Reddit Rejects. I'll see you in the next one.